begin with breaking news. Moments ago, Raleigh Police shared a transcript of the call that Zoe Welsh made to 911 nearly 1 week ago. Good evening. I'm Michelle McConaughey.
And I'm Gerald Owens. Of course, she's the Ravenscroft science teacher who died after being attacked by an intruder. Brian Trader's in the live center, and Brian, Welsh called 911 around 6:30 that morning to tell the dispatcher that someone was in her house.
That's right. In that 911 call, Welsh says that a man broke into her window there at her home on Clay Street, and she says that she had seen the man before, that he was a homeless man who she had seen at Fred Fletcher Park, which is, of course, right next door there at Clay Street. He tells the dispatcher what he is wearing, and then she says, he's going into my kitchen, gotten something out of my refrigerator, and then she tells the 911 dispatcher, he hit me with a brick. I'm on the floor of my bedroom. And after that, Welsh no longer responds to the 911 operator. Later in the transcript, you can see where Raleigh police entered the home looking for the suspect, and then you hear them discussing the nature of Welsh's injuries. That entire 911 call lasts about 9 minutes.
Boy, that is chilling, Brian. Thank you. Meanwhile, the Wake County DA is standing by the county's handling of Ryan Camacho's cases in the years leading up to Zoe Welsh's murder.
That includes a 2019 case in which Camacho's 8 felonies were reduced to 2. She said that was based on the evidence they had and the guarantee that it would lead to a conviction.
And WRL's Carly Haynes spent the day sifting through court paperwork. She joins us live. Carly, Camacho spent years in prison for this case, and he was ordered to have 5 years probation afterwards. What else do we know about the sentence?
A 5-year probationary period is the longest allowed under state law. That's also according to the district attorney. And Camacho was ordered to receive mental health treatment during that probationary period. So we wanted to know if he actually received it.
Ryan Camacho.
A deeper dive into Ryan Camacho's recent Wake County court history. October 2016. That's this case when a man said Camacho tried to get into his car and came back again and threw a rock through his car's window. Camacho pleaded guilty to 2 misdemeanor property charges. His stalking charge was dismissed. He spent 2.5 months in jail and was ordered to get mental health treatment. Throughout 2017, he faced 4 arrests and 7 nonviolent misdemeanor charges. Nearly all were dismissed. Then, November 2018, a woman told us Camacho fired shots into her and her neighbors' homes in this Raleigh neighborhood. Overall, as part of a plea, his 8 felony charges were dropped to 2. Camacho spent 5.5 years in prison. At the time, the victim received this letter from the district attorney's office. It said he'd have 5 years of probation, in which he'd have to complete a mental health treatment program or he'd go back to prison. We asked Adult Correction if that post-release care happened. They couldn't comment because state public records laws keep probation records private.
It is up to the probation officer to ensure compliance.
Marcia Morey is a current legislator and former judge. She had no involvement with Camacho's case, but said sometimes it comes down to the state of mental health systems.
The problem is we don't have the staffing needed. We don't have the capacity. With all the people that do get these orders and conditions of probation, including substance abuse.
Now, the Department of Adult Correction said if there is a concern of non-compliance from that probation officer, they can file a motion with the court who will determine what to do next. We asked DAC if there was a history of non-compliance with Camacho, and we're waiting for that response. Carly Haynes, WRL News, live in Raleigh.
Thank you, Carly. If you go to our website right now, you'll find a timeline of events involving Ryan Camacho and the series of interactions that he's had with law enforcement over the years, the charges he faced, and the outcomes of those cases that led to his arrest on the January 3rd for Zoe Welsh's murder. Just look for the story on WRL.com or type Zoe Welsh in the search box.